the secrets to look like you. So we're going to be doing our jerk marinade sauce.
A firebug.
Yeah.
I used to like fires all the time.
Really?
Yeah. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. If you want the recipe, it's in my cookbook.
That leads perfectly onto a question that I want to ask. So, what's the relationship status saying? So today's guest has interviewed some of the biggest names in sports. He's also the henchest guy I've had on the show. Michael, come here, bro. Why are all my guests so good looking, man? Like, I had to cover up today because, I mean, he's covered up, but you can still see it. I saw him walking, man. For fuck's sake, he's looking tanned. I'm looking a bit. No,
you look good. You look good.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But I don't know if you've heard it today, but you look good.
Yeah, thank you. He knows I need that positive reinforcement. But 2-hour journey.
Yes, 2-hour journey.
Still got a smile on his face.
Always.
But he hasn't tried the food yet, so
listen.
we'll see.
I've seen your food, so I'm expecting big things.
Good, good. So for the people that don't know you, Mike, we'll give a little quick spiel: who you are, what you've done.
Who am I? What have I done? So, I mean, I guess we'll start with the obvious.
Yeah.
Did Love Island back in 2019, but that's done now. I'm away from that.
What is Love Island?
Exactly, what is Love Island? Gone into sports hosting and presenting. So I have interviewed boxers, drivers, fighters from UFC, American football players. I did host an American football show with the NFL. They took me to the Super Bowl 3 times. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Boxing.
What are those tickets like for a normal? It would cost like.
Even when they took us, they sat us like quite high up.
Yeah.
They're expensive tickets.
Yeah.
I looked at the price of the ticket. They're like $3,000 to sit in.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Interviewed, as you said, some of the biggest names in boxing, the likes of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois, David Adelaide, Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker.
The list goes on.
The list goes on.
No, but thank you for being here. We're going to cook some jerk roast potatoes.
Yeah, roast potatoes. Okay.
I always get scared. Right, I'm going to say this now before people come for me. Not exactly traditional, but I know the flavours are going to be fire. I even said to Michael when he came in, I was like, bro, I've washed the chicken. He went, thank fuck.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to know.
I feel like I have to tell people when I washed the chicken, all right, I washed the chicken.
Some people don't.
I know.
But that is a cultural thing.
So I've got us on the really difficult task of peeling a potato. How are you at peeling potatoes? Is your diet just potato, protein, or are you a rice man?
Do you know what? I do have potatoes every now and again, but I have sweet potatoes.
Well, let's start peeling our roast potatoes.
You got me doing the hard stuff.
I know, mate.
Like, what's going on here?
You don't get the easy stuff, mate. But just take your time with it so we get some time to chat as well.
Because I was just about to blast through these potatoes.
See the steam come off it.
Yeah, see, look, I'm almost done with this one.
Talk to me about before reality, because you were a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
What can't this man do? He's got the look. So you basically just drawing girls from day one.
So I knew I wanted to be a firefighter from the time I was like maybe 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Because my brother's a firefighter. So like I went to the station with him just to see, because you're allowed to take family and stuff to see the appliance and stuff like that. And not gonna lie, I was a little firebug.
Yeah.
I used to light fires all the time.
Really?
Yeah. My brother used to shout at me, like police used to get called.
The links and the lighter and
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, but I always knew I wanted to work with fire.
And did you need that application for the calendar photos?
Nah.
That's how he gets his money, actually, the side hustle. Mate, the looks that he got coming into this building, I'm like, for fuck's sake.
But I did end up doing a calendar.
Did you?
Yeah.
Link in bio.
Oh no, that's long gone. Long sold out.
Someone will find it.
No more. Some people have got it.
People have got it, yeah.
People have got it.
But what I'm actually really interested to know, because I feel like, for me, like every job you do, you take some of those skills and you put it into whatever you're doing. So what skills from like firefighting do you kind of put into what you're doing today?
Ooh, that's a difficult question.
Yeah,
because like firefighting.
I'm genuinely interested to know.
Firefighting's so specific because like you gain a load of skills from like working at height, confined space, leadership skills, because obviously you're working in teams of 2, especially when you're going into a burning building. There's only 2 years, but obviously there'll be different teams of 2, but you'll have specific roles. Landmarking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So skills that have come from the fire service that I still use today, probably your knots and line stuff.
Yeah.
So like, when you're tying things up, like I don't tie like everyone else does, where you just tie it in a knot, do a quick knot. I'll do it like a clove hitch or a half hitch. And people,
do you know what? He could say that to a girl, and even a girl would be like, "Oh, he's so dreamy, he can tie knots." If I said that, they'd be like, "Right, see ya."
See you later, weirdo. We talk about tying knots, bro.
I can cook.
That's a bit crazy.
No, but I thought in a sense of like confidence, I think it gives you routine, because I guess...
Oh yeah, 100%. So, do you know what? One thing I have carried over, a heavy sleeper, but I'm also a very light sleeper.
Yeah.
So like, you've got to be alert, because the bells can drop at any time.
Yeah.
And like, if you're on a night shift and you get some downtime, there's no fires, you've got no more work to do because you've done all your paperwork, you go and have a little bit of a nap.
Yeah.
And if the bells go, you've got to wake up and like be ready.
So you're a light sleeper.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So if Chris leaves the oven on, you're like...
Yeah.
Someone's left the oven
I'll be
on.
like, I can smell fire. But also, like, if I hear a noise downstairs, I wake up and I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
But I guess that's a good and a bad thing, because I think that's more of like having the dog as well. So,
Yeah,
like,
true.
That's
your baby, isn't it?
Yeah, but he doesn't actually, those dogs don't bark.
Really?
Like, Akitas
my dog's
don't
like
bark.
that. Like, my dog will leave her outside, and then there's no bark, and we're like, oh shit. Well, we're not that bad with the dog. She's not out there for 4 hours. She's
What are you doing to that dog?
No, but I'm interested to know, so you were a firefighter, like how did Love Island come about then? Did you apply, did you...
No, they...
I mean, look at you, did you... What a dumb question, right?
They emailed me. So it was weird, because like...
It was an email back then, Instagram wasn't around.
This is what I'm talking about. It was so weird, because like, I'd had messages on yeah, they found my LinkedIn profile and they're like, got a business proposal.
I've got your calendar, I think you'd be great for this.
No, so they had actually messaged me on Instagram, but you know when you get like random message on Instagram, I was one of those people, because I was a firefighter, I was like, I don't really care about these messages, I don't really know you, I'm not going to reply. And then I got an email off Katie, shout out Katie, and it was Katie at itv.com, so I was like, okay, this is a little bit of gist, so let me just look into this email.
Yeah.
Replied, and they basically said like, oh, I've just missed the audition thing in Liverpool. Can I come to London?
Yeah.
I was like, I can, but can you pay for me travel? You know what's funny?
Too much to ask?
Yeah, well, you know what's funny? They actually said no.
Really?
I was like,
damn.
Wow.
You got to try it though, innit?
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay. Do me like that. So I was like, do you know what? Let me just go, because I'll just see what it's about.
Yeah.
Went down, met with like wasn't even the execs at first, it was just like series producers. And then they were like, oh yeah, so the execs will get in touch within a week or two. I was like, all right, cool. Got back on the train home to Liverpool. Literally the train took off and I got an email, can you come back to London? I was like, no.
Pretty boy privilege.
I was like, no, I'm on the train to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. I'll come back the day after, but you're paying for my ticket. They're like, yeah, no problem.
They probably like that as well.
Yeah.
Just a bit of authority.
Yeah, I went back, went to work. They paid for me the train ticket to come back. Ended up meeting up with the execs.
Yeah.
And they said the same thing. Oh, someone will be in touch in a week or two. I was like, okay, cool. Honestly, the whole process lasted about 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Lucky for you, mine was about 2 months.
Nah, 2 weeks. I was literally like straight through. It was like, yeah, we need to do your medical. We need to do this, you need to do your psych. I was like, oh, okay, this is going really fast. I was like, I hadn't even told them.
Did you tell them in the site, I like fire?
No, I kept that to myself. Like, don't need to be telling everybody that like I used to be a firebug. But honestly, when I actually joined the fire service, they said to me, oh, like, what do you like with fire? I was like, very familiar.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
Weirdly enough, I'm very familiar with it. But it did actually take me 4 times to get into the fire service. So it wasn't like I applied and joined. Yeah. It took four attempts, because every time they said to me, I needed more life experience. I was like...
How old were you?
Well, my first application, I was 16. Yeah. So I knew I wasn't doing that. But then they didn't hire for like 4 years after that. So it was then 20.
Oh, damn.
And then they opened it up again at 22. And then they opened it again when I was like 20.
And how long were you doing it?
I was doing it for 2 years. And honestly, I say this every time when ever anybody asks, it's honestly the best job in the world.
Really?
If the government paid more, it would honestly be the best job in the world. Like, I could see so many people go for it.
It really pisses me off that the jobs that are the most important just don't pay enough.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, you're putting your life on the line every day you go to work. I'm gonna let you know now, I don't cook like a chef.
Huh?
I don't cook like a chef.
That's good, mate, don't worry.
I cook like a savage.
Nor do I. Right, so you've actually done a better job than me.
Of course. Listen, back in the day, my job was peeling potatoes.
There you go.
Like,
I can tell.
If we were doing anything in the house, my dad would be like, peeling potatoes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, but the thing is,
I want to do something else.
This is a luxury.
Is it?
I used to have to peel with a knife.
Oh yeah, you got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chop them in half, like so.
teaching me how to suck
Yeah,
eggs.
so just, and then we just want them a similar size, so just in half. Look at that, he's a pro.
Look at that. I mean, I don't cut like a pro, but...
So in my eyes, obviously you're a TV presenter, right? But on top of that, you're an athlete.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you eat. Bro,
Tell me the secrets to look like you. Listen,
right.
Food for me, and I say this to everybody because nobody really understands it. I enjoy food. Yes, I do. For those that are asking, yes, I enjoy food. But I eat the same food every day, all year.
7 days?
All year.
What?
Like,
what is it?
I will like come off to eat something different if like I go out for food. But like I cook my food the same way. When I go to the shop, I don't make a list because I know where I'm going. I know where I'm picking up.
Eggs.
I'm picking up 18 eggs. I'm picking up a kilo of chicken. I'm picking up 750 grams of beef.
Yeah.
And then I'm picking up rice, some potatoes, broccoli.
Really?
Yeah. And if I need it, I'll get oats, bananas.
Do you feel like, because I hear a lot of like sports nutritionists say that when you have that diet, because your body's so like acclimated to eating that, you don't have those cravings? Or do you feel like you still feel like, oh, I could do with a fucking fried chicken burger right now?
Oh no, I don't care about any of that. My downfall is chocolate.
You're sweet.
Yeah. But like, so.
But dark chocolate's alright for you, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just not the same. So like.
You're excited for Christmas, aren't you? Chocolate.
Yeah, but if I don't eat chocolate for a long period of time, then I won't bother with it.
Yeah.
But when I start eating it again, it's like, I'll go from having 1 chocolate bar to 3 family-sized chocolate bars. And I don't care because I know I'll get rid of it. Yeah. But it's not good for you.
Yeah.
But it does taste nice. But yeah, I see food as like fuel. I eat the same food all the time. Yeah. Unless someone says, "Oh, do you want to go for dinner?" I'm like, "Yeah, all right, cool, whatever. Where are we going?" And then they'll be, "Oh, you pick." I'm like, "I don't care."
But are you one of those friends that like you'll come round and you'll be like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna have that. I'll just."
No, if someone says come round, I'm gonna cook. Yeah. I'll eat.
Yeah, that's good. Because like, I've got some friends that are just like 2, and they're like, "No, I've brought my." I just think that's too much.
When I used to do bodybuilding, when I used to compete, then
you have to.
But it would only be maybe 8 to 6 week window where I would do that because like I understand that if I'm going somewhere and people are cooking that they're expecting me to eat. Yeah. So the last like 6 to 8 weeks, then I'll just say I'm not gonna come, or I'll come later once you've finished eating because I'll eat before I come. You're
probably one of the few people that's done Love Island and come off bigger. Yeah. I feel like most people, like when you look at your show, you're like, that's the best shape I've ever been in. This is probably the best shape you've ever been in, right? Or
2022, getting on stage, on stage for my fair show in 2022. Actually, that was the best shape I've ever been in.
Okay.
This is like the healthiest I've been.
Okay, so we're just gonna wash our potatoes. So as you can see at the moment, the water is quite starchy. So we're gonna rinse it a few times, give it a wash, get rid of that starch, and that just helps it become crispy.
Wash your potatoes, people.
Wash your potatoes, wash all your
Wash everything.
Yeah.
Wash and wash away.
Right, so these are our washed potatoes. We're just gonna put some boiling water, a lot of salt actually in the water, just get them boiling away for about 10 minutes. So we wanna soft boil them so that they're soft but not falling apart. So who's a better cook then out of you and Chris?
Are you joking? Me?
True, I'm sorry. I would be offended if someone else did. Sorry, Chris. I'm sure you're a great cook. But anyway, back to Love Island. Like I was saying, are there anything that you regret from the show, like looking back, or are you?
No, there's nothing I regret. I feel like there's things that I possibly could have done better, but obviously, as you'll know, going on the show, some people go on it with a goal. Yeah. They have a vision for the show. Yeah. I went on not knowing anything. Yeah. So I didn't have any of that. So yes, there's things that I could have done better, but I wouldn't have changed any of it.
I agree with that.
They helped me develop as a person.
Yeah, I think you can tell, like, because even for me, I'm the same as you. I was very happy in the job that I was doing. I was doing really well, and I was climbing the ladder, the corporate ladder. So when I got asked to do it, I was a bit like, do I want to do it? Because my parents are corporate as well, so they're not very risk-taking. Hello? They're not very risk-taking, but my mum actually, she was the one that was like, listen, you should do it. Yeah. Just go for it. Like, you're young, just be yourself, don't be a prick, which I'm not.
Yeah. No. Are you sure? Yeah. Should have had the things he was telling me off camera.
As soon as it stops, fucking arsehole. No, but
See this knife?
but then my colleagues were also like, my work were like, listen, just go up, do it. So I think them telling me do it, I was like, okay. And they were like, you've got a job here afterwards if you're not a prick.
That's nice.
So I went on there with no intention. Generally, I was wanting a girlfriend, and
So was I.
yeah.
And my work kind of told me not to do it.
Yeah, oh really?
Because obviously the way they looked at it
the
was
stigma for that stereotype just gets played on even more.
Yeah, but
did they put you in a little fire?
Yeah, they did. But the way they
Clip here.
the way they viewed it was, if I go on and I'm a prick, I paint the service in a bad light. But obviously, I was quite fortunate.
So the fire service was fuck then.
No. I was actually quite fortunate because the chief, like our chief in Liverpool, his daughter watched Love Island.
Oh yeah.
And she loved me on the show.
Good.
She was like, that's one of your firefighters.
Yeah.
Doing great.
Yeah.
And like when I came off, I had to talk with like the officer in charge, and then I had to go and have a talk with the chief. And he basically said like, you can resign, because I hadn't resigned at this point.
Yeah.
You can resign, but there is a job here for you when you come back.
Oh, that's good.
Like if you decide to come back.
And was it an immediate thing for you, like when you came off? Because obviously, unless you go through that experience of like, it is a whirlwind, like people like, whoa. And then were you like, okay, shit, this is what I want to do? Or
No, so like my idea was I'm gonna go back to the service. And obviously when in 2019 that everything kind of blew up.
Huge.
So it was massive, and I came off the show to like, I think I had the most PAs from our season, and
Really?
I gave away 30 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you came off the show, how many followers did you have from what you had before?
Oh, my following went up so much.
Yeah.
Like it was ridiculous. I turned all my notifications off before I'd even gone on the show.
Really?
Because I didn't want to get no text messages or anything.
No.
So I was just like,
did you tell like immediate family or friends, or was it?
I told me mum, me dad. So then she obviously told me brothers and sisters. And then I had to tell work. Yeah. And all the lads in work were like, do it. Do it.
Of course, yeah.
But I'm like, the job are telling me not to do it. And now them telling me not to do it is making me want to do it. I didn't even want to do it.
Yeah. And how old were you? Because
I was 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, I want to be a firefighter. I want to run into buildings. I want to save people. And then I was like, you know what, let me just try it.
I think for me as well, like you, I don't think you can have regrets coming off a show like that. And what it's allowed you to do now, like, it's testament to you interviewing the biggest names. We shared the stage with Instagram, doing a panel. Come on, give me my accolade.
Yeah.
But,
you did well.
Thank you. And you know what? I was pretty nervous, to be fair, but I think you kind of put me at ease. And I think I naturally do like doing stuff like that, but I like putting myself outside of my comfort zone. So anytime there's something like, oh, you've got to do this, or interview a big person, I'll always
say yeah.
Yeah.
Best thing to do.
But I'm interested to know as well, like, what was it for you that really transitioned? Because it wasn't like you came out and thought, sports presenting, I want to do. So when for you in your career were you like, shit, okay, I want to kind of go down this route?
Lockdown.
Really?
Yeah, so obviously throughout lockdown, there wasn't really many sports on because it was obviously everyone was locked in their houses. But then Dana White put that closed UFC on. So I was just watching loads of UFC and I was just like talking about UFC in my stories. And I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm doing these like jobs that don't really allow me. At the time, I was with a different agent and we didn't really see eye to eye on business. And he always said to me, oh, you're not motivated by money. And I was like, no, I want to do things that I'm giving you what I want to do and you're taking me that way. Okay. So like during lockdown, I was basically just watching sports, me, Jordan. I would say Chris, but Chris doesn't like sports, not really. Yeah. So we just watch sports and just chill, play games, whatever. And through it, I was just like, I just want to talk about sports. Yeah. And then throughout lockdown, did some sports stuff on my stories, and obviously some people at MTV had noticed it. Yeah. And they reached out to my new agent and said, does Michael like American football? And I was like, yeah. Like I've followed it since I was like 13. I'm a 17-year Eagles fan. Yeah. Wait, is it 17 years? I'm 33 now.
It's a long time.
It's a long time anyway. Yeah, 17
But I think
years.
what I tell people that are fresh off Love Island to do is like, you need to figure out your niche. It's not gonna, sometimes it doesn't happen overnight, sometimes it changes. But like you, it's like, shit, I enjoy this. Why am I not putting content out there that kind of reflects that? Because what you forget is people are watching you. Yeah. Like you just need to be putting that content out there. So we got the potatoes boiling. It's been about 8 minutes. We want them to go nice and soft. So while they're boiling,
Just checking the time, sorry.
He also told me at the start, he was like, don't fucking call me Mike.
Yeah, don't. I might just hit.
Yeah, he literally looks like Hulk. It's kind of crazy. I'm scared to watch this replay because I'm just feeling like bare. Like, let me just do my zip up. No, but anyway, so we're going to be doing our jerk marinade sauce.
You paused for too long there.
No, because I knew that you were.
Whoa.
I knew that you were going to look at me. That's why.
Because you paused too long.
I felt the eyes. But anyway, we're going to do our jerk sauce. So I'll be back in a sec with all the ingredients that we need. So these are my lovely jerk ingredients. So we've got Scotch bonnets. Michael said that he only uses one. Like
rice and peas.
That's still bad.
No, it's not.
That's
one Scotch bonnet in rice and peas.
To be fair, I'm Indian, so I can take the heat. But anyway, you're gonna.
Sorry.
His mouth's gonna be on fire at the end, so I'm gonna get you on the spring onions. Got 2 spring onions, about 5. Yeah, nice one. Scotch bonnet, which Michael's gonna have a whole one, just for fun. Whoa! But no, we're just gonna chop these up, and that is the base of our marinade. So yeah, if you can just nice and slowly chop it up, Ed. Beautiful.
Was that too slow?
No. So what I wanted to know, Michael, is like, as you said, you've interviewed a lot of big people. Mm-hmm. Like, what's one interview for you that's really kind of like stood out where you can say, I either took something away from that or just it was just a big moment for you, just personally? Because I mean, I can already think of a few people that I would be.
Well, I mean, all of them have been like big moments for me because obviously I watch these athletes regularly. So to be sat down, like talking to them and getting to ask. Sometimes I don't get to ask my questions. Sometimes I get given questions to ask. But like being able to ask them my questions and then talk to them off camera and build a bit of a relationship with them. Like I think the one that probably stands out most is I've interviewed AJ a fair few times, maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Really?
And the very first time I interviewed him, I mentioned that like we've got a friend in common.
Okay.
Because like one of his friends is my friends, and yeah. So the second time I interviewed him, we'd spoken in the first time about like personal stuff, life, whatever. And he asked me a little bit about me. This is before
timer, don't worry, ignore it. You don't need to leave the show, please.
He'd asked me about what I was doing, and at the time I was getting ready to get back on stage. And then the second time I interviewed him, he was like, oh, how did your competition go? And it was just a real moment for me that like, even though he's got everything going on, he's a busy guy, boxing, doing all this, he remembered the conversation that we had about me and asked me about me. And it was just a moment where I was like, AJ is such a cool guy.
Yeah, but I also think as well, like especially in the industry that you're in and that we're both in actually, I feel like obviously there is an element of being like, wow, but I feel like for the real famous people, you're just chatting to anyone else, isn't it? You just got to treat them like they are. They're just human, aren't they?
Human. And that's how I do it when I'm interviewing. Like, you're just another person. Yes, you're very good at what you do. Yeah. But you're just another person.
Exactly. And you're the only person that's ever interviewed AJ. And actually, I saw the interview and like, how does he actually look like he's got the same biceps? Anthony, I know if I look, I would look like a flipping pea. I was like, damn. But you guys were sat down, to be fair.
Yeah, we
If he stood up, I was like, whoa.
Well, the first time I interviewed him, we were stood up, and I was like this.
You're like, fuck's sake.
I was like, damn it. Because we were stood so close as well.
Yeah.
Like, literally shoulder to like waist. I was like, oh.
Yeah, so he's like, how are you looking forward to the fight?
He's like this tall.
Yeah, he's massive.
So like, I felt like an idiot, but like, looking up.
It doesn't look as bad as
but it's
probably
not
felt like.
Yeah, but it's not the first time like I've interviewed someone that's been way bigger than me.
Were you squaring up thinking, oh, I could have him, I could... No.
But I've interviewed like American football players and they're all giants, like huge human beings. Like there's something that they put in their water over in the States because they're massive.
Different, yeah. Getting some of that flavour. There's no seasoning yet. There's nothing yet. So the key part of a roast potato is to, once you've soft boiled them, is to use a colander to fluff the outer edges of them. And what that does is it helps it become more crispy. You see how it kind of comes on the outside of it? So you're looking fluffy, so you can fluff these potatoes.
Wow.
That's a compliment,
Fluff the potatoes.
Yeah, and just do it gently.
I'm a fluffing right.
I know that is gently for you, but just really delicate, all right?
So it's lighter than
Yeah,
that.
just because you don't want them to break.
I'm a fluffing right.
You are, mate, don't worry.
I'm fluffing great.
So we were talking about... Hilarious. So we were talking about your favourite interviews, right? So AJ's up there. What's one of the most surprising things that you've Like it could be, oh, I didn't expect that person to be like that, or it could be something you were surprised to find out when interviewing someone. Is there any? I mean, you've interviewed Ryan Garcia. He's a big person.
Oh yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah.
he's a.
That was so. Ryan kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Because like obviously that was in Saudi when Fury was fighting Usyk the first time.
Yeah.
And he basically said like, go and knock Usyk out, and then when you're done with him, knock AJ out, and if you don't do it, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
And it really, like you can see it in the video, it took me by surprise.
Yeah,
so I was like, okay.
But you know what? You handled that really well, because I was thinking, if someone said that and you're like, how tall is he?
Ryan,
Yeah.
he's, like literally a little bit taller than me.
Yeah.
But
so how is he expecting?
He's not even in the same weight
No.
division. Like,
I think he honestly just says some wild stuff.
oh, he does.
Yeah.
Like Ryan,
But he knows how to play down.
he's not. He's great at like selling fights and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like it was such a weird moment because I literally grabbed him for 45 seconds. He was on his way out, and I was just like, Ryan, give me 2 seconds.
Really?
And I had to speak to his manager.
How do you prepare for these interviews? Like, because sometimes it has to just be on a whim, and you just have to. I guess you need to know about the sport, right? You need to have that passion. So I think if you go in and, like for me, I'll only ever get people on the show that I genuinely think, one, are nice people, but two, I find actually interesting, because I feel like that kind of.
You found me interesting.
Well, I don't know you that well yet. Yeah. But do you know what I mean? I feel like you need to have. For me, the biggest thing is knowledge. Like, you need to know what they've been doing. You got to ask. And I think the best questions are the ones they don't expect. So what do you do to prepare basically for those interviews?
Well, obviously with those kind of interviews, you've just got to know the sport.
Yeah.
So like obviously I knew he just fought Devin Haney and won, and then obviously there was a lot going on around the whole steroid thing with Ryan. Obviously I didn't ask that question because nobody wants to answer that question on camera, so it would have been useless me asking.
You want to keep the interviews coming?
It would not even that. It just would have been a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to answer that question. It was just like quick, 30 seconds. Ask him about the fight. Ask him about like why he's in Saudi, who he's supporting. I knew he was supporting Tyson because obviously he's a Tyson Fury fan.
Yeah.
And then a message for Tyson for fight night.
Yeah.
But with other things, so like sit down interviews, you want to do a little bit more research.
That leads perfectly onto a question that I want to ask. So, what's the relationship status saying?
I'm happily in a relationship.
Ah, lovely.
I keep my relationship private
Yeah.
because it's mine.
Yeah.
And I want it to stay that way.
So what's her name?
Where she live, what she do, mind your business.
Yeah. So how long has that been going on for then?
We're just over a year.
Oh wow, nice.
Very happy.
Very happy. That's good.
happy.
That's why you were smiling when you came.
Yeah, of course.
That's good.
Yeah, I've actually. Well, she just went home. Like she stayed at mine for the past 4 or 5 days. So.
And how does she find, or is she in the public eye herself? Is it because you know if you're dating someone that's not, it's a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah. No, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
See, I'm just getting
I'm
my
not,
detective.
yeah,
hat.
but I'm not gonna.
So I'm not making a roast potato cake here. This is clean. What we're actually doing is we're actually letting it air. So once you fluff them, it oxidizes, so it creates even more fluff, and that just by letting them sit. Yeah.
I know what that means.
Exactly.
I did science.
Yeah, he likes fire.
I like science. No, I did science in uni.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh. Right, so our roast potato cake is just getting assembled now. This is called ghee, which is but ghee is clarified butter. So this isn't something an athlete like you would normally get, but it's like really
thick butter.
It will melt. But what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 tablespoons of this. So it's essentially lard, but your six pack's still going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
right?
I'm just like looking at it.
No, but it's like,
whoa.
you know when you do roast potatoes, you have to put some oil in, right?
Yeah.
So just remember what I said about the calories, just relax.
Yeah, no, hey, I haven't eaten. I've had breakfast and that's it, and that was at like 6 a.m. So
there you go. You're going to eat this. It's going to burn instantly, all right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in the oven for about 10 minutes. Let it get really hot, so that when we add this, you can hear a nice sizzle, and then we're going to put it in the oven.
All right. All right.
All right, all right, all right.
They don't know that I've actually got potatoes ready.
They do now.
Great job on the cutting. As I said, we are going to be blitzing this, so you don't need to chop it too properly. Yeah. Kid Michael's here now, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to cut 2 limes. I'm just going to show you how a pro does it.
Oh! What? Our pro does it?
To be fair, that
was
knife,
close.
I just don't know.
That was close. You only cut the smallest bit off it?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Use this.
If I get this now.
If you get this now, you can take full ownership of the show.
Ah, the show is mine!
Right, guys, it was good knowing you. I'm not making much money in AdSense right now, so you're gonna... Do you know what? That's pretty crazy. Let's look at your fluff, it's everywhere.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That is I was so scared that he chopped his hand then, but no. Got our limes, come back in 2, we're gonna blitz our jerk sauce. Say it with confidence now, jerk sauce!
Jerk sauce! 2 lime juices.
1 tablespoon of white vinegar.
1 tablespoon soy sauce.
1 tablespoon of olive oil.
2 spring onions.
3 scotch bonnets. 4 garlic cloves.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Teaspoon of nutmeg. Tablespoon of chicken bouillon.
Teaspoon of cayenne pepper. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar.
Teaspoon of ground cinnamon.
Teaspoon of black pepper. Pepper.
Teaspoon of allspice. Coriander. Rosemary.
Salt.
Just all over my hand, I'm just blocking. So potatoes have been in. Look how quickly that is, mate.
Oh yeah.
It's like the tray changed as well when you put it in the oven. It's really weird.
It's also almost like you planned this.
It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, so
Look how fluffy they are.
I know that was all you.
That was all look at
Look at the fluff. Right, so when they're about halfway done, you want them to be crispy like this, but this is when you add your aromatics, because if you added this in at the start, it would just burn. So just crunch a few of these up. I like to just break it up and just literally whack it in like that. I'm gonna get a few garlic cloves. And then what we're gonna do with the garlic, I always find with your herbs, by smacking them, you're breaking it up, it actually intensifies the flavour. So we don't need to take them out of the skin.
Yeah, I was always told to slap it.
Yeah, it's just, I like garlic, so.
Making me work for it.
Obviously, bro, you thought you were just gonna come here and eat.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
That's what they all think. I'm like, no, you gotta earn your food, boy. And that is our beautiful roast potatoes. Now we're gonna cook those for about another 20 minutes, but we're gonna toast off some spices that we're gonna add right at the end. The word spice, is that making you sweat just thinking about it?
No, I am not sweating.
No, and we're also gonna add just a tablespoon of that jerk marinade just at the end, so you get a nice jerk roast potatoes. So back in the oven.
Oh yeah.
So we've got our washed chicken legs here, and they are washed. We've got our jerk marinade, which is hot, but when it all comes together and you cook it down, I mean, it doesn't
look great,
but
it tastes great.
What I'm gonna do before I pour this as well, because we wanna save some of this for basting the chicken, but also for our roast potatoes, I'm just gonna pour a little bit out, just a little bit, because we don't need, drop some on the spillage.
Yeah, some spillage. Ooh, look at that.
Just gonna marinate our meat.
Yeah.
And you wanna marinate this overnight for the best flavor, right? Get all those crevices.
Yeah, looks
Nice.
good.
Now I've got high five. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. It's been a pleasure to see you.
No. I will turn the tap on for you though.
Ah,
Don't
yeah.
you need to?
This is the overnight marinade.
Oh yeah.
Chicken thigh.
Oh yeah.
You can see, when you marinate something overnight, you can see at the moment that it's not attached to the chicken, but it's really all come together there. So this is what we're gonna be cooking today. We're gonna be air frying it for about 10 to 12 minutes until it becomes nice and crispy, but just keep an eye on it. So roast potatoes are almost done. What we're gonna do now is
Chilled them a pan of nothing. You went roast potatoes are almost done.
Right, you're getting too big for me. Hey,
remember this is my show.
Yeah, true. Sorry, so can I start?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay, thanks. So what we're gonna do now is add some spices to the pan, because our roast potatoes are almost done. We're gonna add just about a teaspoon of each. So a teaspoon of smoked paprika, teaspoon of nutmeg,
Teaspoon of pepper,
teaspoon allspice.
teaspoon of cinnamon,
Use that knife.
and like eight.
Or you can, your finger stretch.
Oh.
Let me have a go. Teaspoon of, tablespoon of onion powder.
Teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
We're now just going to put this on the heat and just let all of that toast for a couple minutes. So what I want to know from you is, like, obviously you did the show a long time ago, right? And I can understand now, like, I've always been a happy person, right? But when you come off of a show, you kind of left to your own to kind of like find your niche, do your thing. And I personally can understand why a lot of people are lonely or go through certain like dark phases, as I'm sure you're aware. But I wanted to know, like, did you ever kind of experience the dark side of like social media, or have periods in your life where you felt a bit like, this is a bit long, or?
Instantly.
Yeah.
Like when I came off, I'll go out there and say it, I was possibly the most hated man in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
I always say to people, I'm like, if you're clean-hearted and you work hard, the work will pay off. You just, for me, I've never felt this hunger before. Like, I'm so hungry to make something out of this.
I'm hungry too.
Because I feel like when you work a normal job before and you're not, for me, I wasn't an entrepreneur.
You didn't get that, did you? That went way over.
What did you say?
I said I'm hungry too.
Yeah, I actually thought you had the context.
You
of
just
that.
carried on.
Yeah, no. But I feel like when I had my 9 to 5 before, like the sales target, or like when you go from that to this, it makes you realise there's people that are fucking hustling out there, working multiple jobs. Like I've come off, I've managed to, don't get me wrong, I'm still really hard working and I put it all into this, but like coming from a family like where my parents have worked so hard to like get to where they are now, like Wit sees me as hard working, I don't see myself as hard working enough. And I'm just constantly trying to...
I'm the exact same. Like my agent will vouch for it because I could be working every day of the month and I will still say to him, what's next?
Yeah.
Because as soon as I'm getting towards the end of a job, I want to go straight into another job.
Yeah.
Like I don't like.
Which is good, but I feel like it's a balance, and so I just need to check.
Not with me. There is no balance. Yeah, work-life balance is where.
Yeah.
Make enough money to not work and then life.
So for me, coming off of reality, I've always been a confident person, but I think since coming off of a show like Love Island, where it is a bit kind of like image, body, like for you, for us, how we look is our brand in a way. Did you feel a sense of pressure? Because body dysmorphia is a real thing, right? Like I think growing up, I used to be way kind of strict, like looking at myself being like, I'm not happy with how I look. Like now I'm older, I kind of accepted like you go through periods of life, right? You're gonna be really busy sometimes. As long as you're trying and you are trying to maintain a healthy, realistic lifestyle, did you ever succumb to like those pressures and feel like, fuck, like I need to look this good because it's like my brand? Or did you ever have any insecurities? Like, did you feel like any insecurities were heightened coming off of a reality show? Or do you feel like, no, it didn't impact you, you were just...
No, not necessarily, because I'd done bodybuilding before. I feel like I faced that before I'd done all of that.
Yeah.
Because obviously you do go on strict diets in order to step on stage because you want to look your best.
Yeah.
And then when you get off stage, you then have to refeed and you start to lose a bit of it, and that plays with your mind. So coming off the show,
I got so fat when I came off the show because
the
food. Really,
I lost weight.
Wait, lost weight.
I got leaner on the show. If you watch my season back, from when I come on to when I come off, I got leaner.
Wow.
I didn't actually. I think I lost about 2 kilos on the show.
Damn. Well, you don't get any sleep, and I think that plays into it as well.
And plus, I trained I trained every day.
Really?
Apart from one for 7 weeks straight.
I didn't train. Probably showed as well.
Yeah, 7 weeks straight. I trained every single day. Gym. I skipped. Obviously, they only show bits of it, like the unseen bits.
How are you skipping?
Because I'm a little bit insane.
Yeah, you are. I'm seeing that. Insane. I'm seeing that.
Even when they didn't want me to, I was like, no, I'm going.
You've got to chat to the girls, Michael.
I'm like, no.
No, I'm just gonna go skip.
I'm gonna train in the morning, and they'll be like, yeah, can you just skip the gym this morning? I'm like, no.
So spices are toasted. So now I'm gonna add the salt now, because Big Michael is gonna be the one doing this, because he's got muscles for a reason. But this salt is what breaks the spices down even more. I'm actually just going to add a couple sprigs of thyme, just the ends of it, not the whole thing. And this is what we're going to garnish our roast potatoes with. So if you can essentially just get to work, mate, and just bang, bang, da-da-da. All right, next question. Who inspires you? Who is that person? Could be family, could be athlete, could be other than me, person that you just that you just look up to and you're like, you know what? I think it's good to have people that like inspire you in life. So yeah, who are those people for you?
Well, my brother's always been one.
Yeah.
Both my brothers and my dad.
Yeah.
But going away from family, like my dad has always been hard work, and he's got 6 kids.
Yeah.
He's got 3 girls and 3 boys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Obviously so's my mum, but I mean, like my mum, when she had the kids, obviously stayed at home to raise us, but my dad was out there working and grinding and stuff. And now my mum wants to go back to work, and as much as I tell her she doesn't need to work, she wants to work.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know what it's like when you're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
And obviously now she's not got kids at home to look after. She's got grandkids, but they inspire me every day. I do what I do to make them proud and to give them a better life.
Yeah.
But other than that, I get inspired by a lot of people, younger, older, just it's all based on like work ethic and what people's morals are and what they're actually doing things for. Because like as you've seen, I know I've spoken about him a lot, like Anthony Joshua. The other day he went to a kids hospital just to like give out presents and like be there for the kids, because obviously they might not be home for Christmas. And it's just nice things like that. Like he's a good person, he's a good human being. Obviously Tyson Fury's the same, he's a good human being. He lives in Morecambe. Like everybody in Morecambe knows him. You see him on his run, see him with his kids. People at the school see him. Things like that inspire me. Like people who just they love what they do, but it doesn't change who they are.
Yeah, I love how you put that, because I couldn't agree more. I think, because ultimately you do naturally change, not your morals as a person, but you're changing careers. So there's a lot of things in your life that are changing, but who you are as a person, how you treat people, that shouldn't change. And I think, like you said, it's very inspiring seeing the people that have made it that are still so grounded. I think, I completely agree with that. Right, so we're gonna add just a bit of our jerk seasoning that we made earlier. And if you just sprinkle just half of that over the potatoes, not all of it. And I'm just gonna give exactly half a mix like so. And you always do this at the last kind of like 5 to 10 minutes of cooking them. Otherwise, things just start to burn. So we're probably gonna give that another, my eyes from the spice. 10 minutes in the oven whilst our chicken's cooking. So you've done a lot of cool things. You've worked with a lot of big athletes, but over the course of, I don't know, post Love Island, before Love Island, what's the proudest achievement you've had?
I've always said my proudest achievement was getting into the fire service. Because that actually affected people's lives. And I always wanted to do it. Such a great achievement for myself. And I will always look back at it and be like, yeah, I did that. Got to run into burning buildings where you can't see anything in front of your face. Done water rescues, done working at height.
That's crazy.
That helped me with my fear of heights, because I'm scared of heights. But obviously,
a firefighter scared of heights?
Most firefighters are.
Really?
Most firefighters
probably because they know the consequences.
They're just scared of heights, and then you have to overcome that fear of heights by working at height. So I would probably say that's my proudest achievement today, and I don't think it'll ever change.
You strike me as the individual that you're always going to be pushing whether it's your body or a challenge or something. You just strike me as that guy. So if it was firefighting, getting into that, but I always feel like you're going to be setting yourself. You talked about the marathon. What are some challenges that you can see yourself doing?
So obviously there's a big boom in high rocks at the minute, and
I hate that shit.
I would actually love to do one. Do a high rock.
So Michael, we've done a good job.
I thought you were saying like, who gets these?
No, we've done a good job, bro. It looks, I mean, come on, it looks good, doesn't it?
It does look good.
What are you giving out of 10 looks?
Looks, 7.
So,
but the thing is,
gravy.
with jerk chicken and stuff like that, it never looks 10.
True.
So
I would have said 7.5, 8.
It's all about the taste.
Let's taste. So on that note, let's dig in. Bit of chicken.
You've got to get everything.
Potatoes are hot. That's what I told you, we put a hole in your mouth. You're gonna breathe like a dragon. It's good though, actually. The chicken's really good.
That's what I'm saying.
See how
it's all about the taste.
Taste, what we saying, and you're happy?
Very happy.
Yeah.
Give it a taste. 9.7.
Wow.
9.78.
Damn. And you've been to a lot of cookouts as well.
Yeah. And the spice level's good. Like, it's not too much. It's actually a very good spice level.
It all goes together really well. I'm very happy with that.
I'm happy with that.
We did a good job.
The
marinating it overnight is what?
That's what does it.
Yeah.
And if you want the recipe, it's in my cookbook.
This is my cooking show.
You know, I own the business now. It's in my cookbook. Do you do prep food? Because I will eat that for prep.
I know, it's an idea, you know. I've been thinking about it. Just making it healthier.
Listen, do the chicken the exact same way. That's still healthy. Yes, there's a lot of spice in it, but this is still a healthy meal. And it's just potatoes and chicken. The coleslaw is probably the most unhealthy part about it. But you master that. Box it up.
You're gonna be my first customer, yeah?
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna actually let Michael have most of this because
this is really nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it, bro.
I'm trying to just not burn my mouth again on that potato.
I was watching you. You basically put a whole fucking roast potato in your mouth.
I didn't realise it was that hot, which is really stupid.
No, it's just been in the oven for like.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years now? Because I feel like you've already achieved my cooking show, cookbook. It's really good. It's really good.
5 years.
Kids.
Possibly. Possibly. I want to have like a full-time slot broadcasting.
Yes.
Because at the minute I do a lot of freelance work.
Yeah.
So if I could get like a full-time slot, be perfect. Only talking in the sports that I enjoy.
So what are your favourite sports?
American football, boxing, UFC, Formula 1.
And if you were to be sponsored by someone, what are like those dream brands that you're like, oh, Gymshark or
Heavy.
Heavy?
I'm not really one for like, oh, I want to be sponsored by a brand. Like, I've done a lot of brand stuff before, and I love the brands that I've worked with, but I don't, unless like I'm working towards having like a percentage of the business, I'm just making somebody else money, and I understand that. The food goes in your mouth, not on the table. I understand that, and I like working with brands, I really do. It's great, make a lot of new friends, a lot of new connections, but I would want to work towards like being involved with a brand, like see the vision that they've got, and then be like, okay, I will invest in your company and you invest in me.
And I think, like you said, you've done this for a minute now, and even for me, after a while, you're like, yes, good money working with brands, but the end goal is you want to be that brand. You want people to just pay you enough so you don't have to promote another, you're enjoying it, innit? I can tell by your facial expressions, because some people, they love it, but they don't really show, but you're giving a little bit, I can tell you're rating it. Spice is perfect.
Spice is perfect. I thought, when I could smell the spice before, I was thinking, ooh, that might be a little bit spicy.
But actually, yeah.
But it's just like, very...
Do you prefer the chicken skin a little bit crispier, normally? Or are you happy with that? I mean, it's still
crispy,
yeah.
But it would usually be a little bit crispy, but I feel like you only get that.
If you cook it on a fire...
That's what I was going to say. I feel like you only get that from cooking it on a grill.
And finally, advice for me to get in shape, or for anyone wanting to just, not even just transform their body, but I think just get into better routine and feel better from a physical aspect.
Start slow. Obviously, you know which foods are bad and which foods are good. Don't try and just eliminate everything all at once. Yeah. Because a lot of people do, they go, right, I'm going on a diet, and they'll cut out chocolate, they'll cut out refined sugars, they'll cut everything out, and then they'll crash after like 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Yeah. Do it bit by bit. Like, save some of that stuff in your diet to take out at different times and slowly wean yourself off it. Like, people talk about doing like a cleanse where like you go through your cupboards and you get rid of your cereals, you get rid of your chocolate, you get rid of your biscuits. But if you do that, you're just gonna fail on your diet quicker.
Realistic stuff.
Just make it realistic. If you enjoy biscuits, still have biscuits, but if you eat like a packet of biscuits a night, maybe like tone it down to like half a pack of biscuits. Yeah. And then
it's true.
2 weeks down the line, a couple of biscuits. And
then 2 years later, just beef, chicken, rice every day. Yeah. Not every day, 7 days a week.
Not that extreme.
And then one day for this.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be that extreme.
Yeah.
Because not everybody wants to get on stage. Not everybody wants to be that level of lean. No. I mean, it's not necessarily healthy.
It's not normal. I wouldn't say it's normal. But then also, I think it's important to ask advice in terms of sports presenting, TV, to anyone that's wanting to get into that field. What would you say to them?
Practice. Like, get in front of a camera, do some talking. Work with a teleprompter, because you may need to use one in the future.
That's true.
Work off doing like tight turnaround research. So say you wanted to do a video on, let's say you wanted to do a video on John Jones, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Decide you want to do the video, do the research, shoot the video like in a short period, like maybe over a 2-day stint. So you've got like 1 day to do research, 1 day to shoot it.
You just need, my view is that you need to love what you do so much to the point you don't care how long it takes. So that you learn along the journey, you enjoy it, and yeah, you'll make your dreams a reality, which you've done. But bro, thank you for coming today. It's been a pleasure. So be sure to stay tuned in for more guests, more restaurants. Locked in. Listen, we were in my playground before, we're in my playground again. Why are you laughing, yeah? Why is he laughing? I'm being serious. Right, no, this is his playground, but I'm gonna show him how to do pull-ups, because he asked me, he came here, he said, I don't know how to do pull-ups, can you teach me? I said, Mike, come on, let's go. I said, Mike,
You say he's gonna teach me how to do pull-ups?
Which one do you want? Which one should we do? Right, so Michael doesn't know this about me, but I used to do calisthenics, so how many pull-ups do you reckon I could do?
How many? I reckon, clean, strict form, chin above bar, elbows locked out to the bottom.
I'm actually intrigued to see what you say.
8.
8? Nah, I can do more than that.
You think?
I think so, yeah. I've got 8.
There you go.
There?
Yeah.
My hands are slippy from the chicken,
Oh.
man. It's the chicken that's slippy.
Better
I need my chalk, otherwise
squeeze the ball harder then.
I can tell what coach you are.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get that chin higher. 5,
I've got 10 more in me.
6, 7. You sure?
Yeah.
8. Oh, he's got that. I'm impressed. That's 10. You said you got 10 more in you.
He's making me laugh. He made me laugh, man.
I mean, you did it by 2.
Not bad.
Well
I beat your prediction.
Yeah, I thought you was only going to get
I reckon
8.
you got 3, OJ.
Yeah, I got 3.
No, I reckon you got
I'm not, I mean,
20.
I'm not going to make myself sweat like.
Go band for band.
I'll just,
Okay,
beat you,
I'm done.
I'll just beat you by 1, just so you know that I beat you.
Yeah.
So I'll just beat you by 1 just because.
So, Lockham won in the kitchen, Michael won in the gym, but that was expected.